Yes. We're back with news and entertainment. We're gonna start off with a sad story. Famed rapper from Atlanta, Rich Homie Quan, passed away. He was only 34 years old. He passed away, and they're saying it might have been an OD. I know he was going through a lot, especially with the Young Thug trial and his name being mentioned. Never a good thing. I know he was putting on for Canadians. He had the A game boys with him, so we just want to give him a moment of silence.
Yeah, for sure.
R.I.P. to Rich Homie Quan. Rest in peace. Rest in power.
Yeah.
But on another note,
Yeah.
today's turning up. The internet has turned all the way up because Kendrick Lamar has been announced as the special halftime guest for Super Bowl 58 in New Orleans.
So this was.
How do you feel about that?
This was planned. What to feel about it?
Like they're not like us.
Yeah. Well, like it's if this were in L.A., then I get it. It's in New Orleans. It's so funny because I first heard it, and you obviously have your own thoughts about it, especially coming from where we come from.
Of course.
And it looks real sus at the end of the day. But hey, but when you dig into it, and I appreciate Cam and Mace, with their show, It Is What It Is, which we're fans of. They kind of broke it down, and I think this is something that a lot of people that can kind of read the tea leaves and can kind of see through the forest and not just what's for face value can understand that there's real poly at play here, or politics for those that don't know.
It's always politics, man.
Yeah, so long and short of it, Cam and Mace insinuated that this is a higher play from Jay-Z. And they even went on to reference their own personal situations regarding it. We'll get into something like what Dame said in regards to his situation currently with 50 in regards to this as well. But, the Super Bowl is a big deal. The Super Bowl is a life changer for any artist that does it. If you don't know about performing at the Super Bowl, you don't get paid to do it. It's all off promotion.
Your streams go all the way up.
Through the roof.
600% increases in some cases.
Through the roof. So, Is Kendrick Lamar gonna kill it? Of course.
Yes.
He's gonna kill it.
Is he gonna bring the whole West out with him?
Probably. If it's anything like his concert.
If he's smart, he brings the whole of the West.
Well, TDE should be on stage. Absolutely.
But I mean YG, Mustard,
Snoop,
Cube.
Yeah, no.
Anybody you could get, you bring them.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on it. Because how unified, he made the West over the last 3 to 4 months.
Right.
Why not move with them everywhere you go to kind of keep that unity, right?
Well,
I think the biggest thing that stands out is why not Lil Wayne, who's been the biggest artist from New Orleans in the last 20 plus years. But
we have yet to hear Wayne speak on it.
100%. And again, that's being said, a lot of speculation.
Right.
But when I take the speculation from industry insiders, I think they know a little bit more than others or the general public, because Wayne could have turned it down. That's
what I'm saying.
Right?
But wait. Birdman and Nicki spoke on it.
But they said something. Exactly.
So that's where it's like maybe he didn't turn it down. He just wasn't offered.
Yeah. Well, again.
And he lives in his own lane. So you don't know what he knows yet.
And this does lead to the conspiracy theories about Jay-Z, because if you know hip hop, like we know hip hop, there was, a beef brewing between Jay, Young Money, Birdman in regards to rights to signing Wayne. And the story goes is that like on the 11th hour of the deal, Wayne backed out and Birdman, said, nah, that's not happening to my son.
Yeah.
And Jay kind of, I guess has held that grudge over time. They had a back and forth. If you guys don't know, Jay's verse on Ham was directly to Wayne. And Birdman. So there's a lot of subs. Wayne has tracks directed to him, and who you would think it died out over 15 years.
Nah.
Yeah.
Beef lives.
It lives strong, and especially when you have the power that Jay has,
of course,
you get to make the decisions and affect whoever you want to affect when you need to affect them. And I think this is one of those things. I think they just turned up the needle when it comes to this back and forth. Because now if you have Young Money, actually, because people were asking, like, where's Young Money in this Kendrick thing? Now it looks like, you're kind of poking the bear. But if you have Jay the West, the rest of hip hop versus, this is turning into something absolutely epic.
If I'm Kendrick, I put on my New Orleans. I put on Boosie from Baton Rouge.
I might bring out Boosie.
Yeah, I put them on my show.
Do a little zoom.
I put my show on.
Zoom.
And I have them out there.
Yeah.
But I make sure the West is all standing behind me because
Yeah.
that photo op, that look,
Yeah.
regardless of what it is, for hip hop, huge.
But you know what I don't like? And it's what has been my main contention with Kenny's side of that whole beef was the whole, the pedo thing. And being on stage singing those bars it's still nasty work, bro. Like, you're gonna have 100,000 people or billion people worldwide watching this thing, rapping along. Like, to me, it's like, I know there's
he has to perform.
That's
the record,
a trash take, and I'm gonna say this right now. There are rules and guidelines and things you just don't do or say at the end of the day in every field, in every sport, and that are just crossing the line. And I think that was, in their beef, that crossed the line. I don't think you ever put that on a man's vest.
No, you can't stay in his jacket like that.
Yeah, you can't do that.
Because there's no coming back from that.
Yeah, so I when I hear the song, like, obviously we don't hear it out here as much as they probably hear it all the time in the U.S. But
well, remember, we were talking to our man from the South, and he was saying that...
Shout out DJ Rel.
Yeah, DJ Rel, shout out. He was saying that that's the biggest song in the West history in the last 20, 25, 30 years.
And he's right.
And I was trying to think about it. What was a bigger West Coast song than that?
The last biggest song, you know what I'm going to say? As he said, I was thinking about it. It might be Drop It Like It's Hot.
Oh, does that count?
It's Snoop Dogg.
Oh, I wasn't even thinking about that. I was thinking more like...
I'm talking about as monster of a track it was.
Like, This Is How We Do, Hate It or Love It.
That's still... Well, yeah, those are big... It's the game.
Like, I mean, those are the biggest
100%.
records.
I know what you're saying. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Yeah. But
I didn't even remember. Snoop's so like...
Yeah.
Snoop is the West, but Snoop is so hip-hop. Like, I forget that he's from the West Coast. Because, it's a Pharrell song. It's not like a West-centered song.
Yeah.
So,
no.
You might have got it. You might have got it.
I guess as I was thinking about it, I think that's what it is. So I get the energy because, the West is always rapped like they've been slighted.
Yeah.
Like, like they're the ugly stepchild of hip hop. And so I get the insecurity. They built hip hop. Like, when you think about, like, especially, in the late 90s and early 90s, late 80s. But hey, sometimes you need an antagonist. You need a chip on your shoulder to keep it moving. So I can definitely resonate with that. We'll see how this plays out. I definitely want to hear Wayne's take. I don't think he says anything about it.
Nah, he doesn't even business.
He has that Louisiana Fest coming out where the Hot Boys are going to perform.
That's a big one.
Yeah,
though.
that's huge.
So do you know if Turk and
I heard everybody
BG squashed the beef?
From what I'm hearing, it's because I actually saw Turk was the first Hot Boys that, listen, we're all hooked up. Everybody's on the bill. Everyone's
Love that. And you know what?
And I believe he even said BG. So he said everybody. So again,
I was a fan of Turk.
Of course, Turk, BG, and Wayne were my favorite Hot Boys, and back in the day.
Come on, Juvie was.
Nah, see, I like Juvie. You know what it was with Juvie?
Come on, man.
Nah, I liked I liked the style and everything. I just wasn't. I think there was something in the cadence that I didn't really take to.
500 Degrees.
Great album.
When that dropped,
great album. Great album.
The G Code.
Yeah, great album. Great
album.
But again, I think back then I think. If you had to ask, Wayne wasn't my favorite. BG was my favorite.
BG was the nastiest.
BG was my favorite back then.
That Chopper City in the Ghetto too.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah, BG was it though.
But so last week we spoke about the Dame 50 situation.
Yeah.
50 talked about how basically when he got his $1 million deal, Dame said that ain't no money. Dame responded.
Yeah.
And Dame really brought it to, hey, you're a mogul, I'm a mogul.
Yeah.
Let's drop our streaming services because I got America New. What was 50's called? You remember?
50 Action.
50 Action versus America New.
Yeah.
And put out a new movie because I got a new movie ready.
Yeah.
In true Dame Dash style. Because it was a flex.
Yeah.
it's a big time flex to be able to drop a streaming platform with all your content on it and say I have 18,000 hours of content.
That's a flex.
So, in true hip hop style, he kind of challenged 50. The only thing is he talked too much, and he says it's a grill. Other people
No, those were dentures, dog.
think it was dangerous.
Those were dentures.
His joints fell out, and it was kind of embarrassing.
If your grill falls out, you're not moving the camera away until it gets. Anyways, I don't even want to get into
I
it
just
like
saw
that.
the video. I just saw the video. I just saw a shot with him, Joel Santana, and somebody else without their teeth, and it was crazy. It's all three of them, no teeth.
All of them,
top.
yeah. So that definitely. But again, you gotta clean it up. But the one thing I Ultimate Hustler. Dame Dash.
Facts.
Right? You can't take that away from him. I think he's definitely out of his league when it comes to talking about 50 and the way that 50's trajectory is, and Dame's is kind of plateaued and just maintaining at where it's at right now. So I think that's an uphill battle for who, like, if they're gonna go stream for stream or something like that 50 Cent Kanye battle back in the day. It's not gonna be nothing like
yourself,
that. You have to like unwaverably believe in yourself.
That's why I rate him. Whenever people talk bad about Dame, he still stands in the fire.
So with Dame, like, he reminds me of 50 Cent, and I was saying this too in the same sense that when it's all said and done, regardless of what you think about Dame, like 50, he's been giving us jewels for the life on how to maneuver as a man, as individuals, as black people, as industry. Whatever artists, media owners, whatever the case is,
that is a fact.
So you can't take away all of the good that he's done and uplifting he's trying to do to hip hop and the community. It's just nothing lasts forever, and I think that's what it is with him. I think he's kind of. And what I'll give to Dame too is that he's tried different genres. He's done a rock album. He's done different things. He's done the shoots. He's done everything pretty much to success. So
watches art.
Yeah, it's just right now he's going up against, and I think it's smart because in a world of content and clickbait, on one hand he's right now being in the same breath with Jay-Z anytime Jay-Z's name being brought up right now.
Facts.
And he's in the same breath right now in a back to forth with 50. So
why not? So what kind of promotion is that?
That's all the promotion you need, right? At the end of the day,
I downloaded the app.
Hey, how is it? How do you like it?
It's pretty
good content.
Pretty good. Right? I watched him in Jamaica with Currency and Stali.
Yeah.
Old video they had from back in the day. They had an hour-long documentary. It was dope content. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I was a Dame Dash fan, so
for sure
I can appreciate Dame Dash then, and I can appreciate him now.
Yeah.
Everybody's not gonna shine all the way through.
100%.
But you got to appreciate people for what they've done. So when I was coming up in rap, he was one of the figures that, you look to him and he's a CEO and he owns this and he's talking about owning your own brand.
He's always talking about ownership from day one.
So it was like,
right? So
you could catch jewels from him.
Absolutely.
Broken clock is right twice a day.
Yeah, but he's more than that. Like he's actually was giving back, and I think he's given back more than a lot, like jewels and game, more than a lot of statesmen his age and so on and so forth, or his tenure in the sport. So I think he just recently did a video. I think I've seen the second half of the video. I think the first half is what we saw when he was talking that talk. But the second half of the video right now I saw today was him commenting about 50 Cent in the light, and I alluded to this earlier, with being blackballed in the industry.
Right.
And he kind of was now kind of relating to 50 Cent, where 50 Cent was referencing being blackballed, for the Super Bowl, and Jay quote unquote not wanting 50 there, but him having the close friend in Eminem and Dr. Dre saying we're not doing this without 50.
Relationships,
right? And Dame saying, I rate him for having that. I'm a little jealous that I don't have that now. Actually, my friends are the ones that are blackballing me, right? The people I came into the game with. So I feel for him on that note. But he's one of those guys that you could never keep down.
And a lot of people speak really highly of Dame.
Yeah.
So, big up Dame. And he coined it. He didn't coin the term, but he uses a lot. Culture vultures.
Yeah.
And
Jeez.
speaking of a culture vulture,
Jeez.
we just sliding in like that. You seen that slide?
Yeah, I see. I like it. That was
Right in the
smooth.
home.
That was smooth.
Speaking of culture vultures, this guy DJ Vlad.
Hey.
I don't know
So
if
you
he's a
answered my question then.
I don't know if he's a.
Cook.
I really don't know if he's a culture vulture or
Yeah.
not. I know that everybody's going and interviewing with him.
Yeah.
I know he didn't apologize to Farrakhan.
Yeah.
But I can't ask a man to apologize.
Nah. You just, you like.
I don't want to get into the whole reason why because we try to keep politics off this show. But
Absolutely.
to be politically correct, there was a reason why he called out Farrakhan, right or wrong. Maybe he didn't have all his facts.
Yeah.
But when you come at somebody's beliefs,
Yeah.
which he believed, I'm not saying he did, he didn't,
Yeah.
then it's going to get their back against the wall and they're going to react like how they react.
That's every human being, you know what I mean, that is pressed or, is feeling that type of way. So for those that don't know, what's pretty much been going on lately with Vlad is that there's been a public back and forth with him and Marlon Wayans.
Yes.
And, for those that don't know, Marlon Wayans is part of, comedy royalty.
$1 billion family.
Yeah, that has been in comedy for, I want to say, over 40 years in totality. And so long and short
so
of it,
many stars.
Vlad wanted an interview, or Marlon Wayans wanted to do an interview with Vlad, and the price tag was $40K plus rev share for all of the streams thereafter. Now, Vlad, I think what I don't hate is a man having his price and sticking to it, and someone not liking the price and not wanting to pay your price. So to each their own on both sides. I don't have a problem.
I'm not
with that.
mad at how that happened.
Yeah, my problem
40K is my price.
Yeah.
If you don't want to pay it, then you don't need me on your show.
Yeah.
If you want me to pay 40K for you and I don't think it's of value,
that's
then
your right.
I won't have
that's
you
your
on
right.
my show.
100%.
But just leave it there.
But the problem is that every time you seen Vlad after this, and now I don't know who's the one that made it public first, but every time you seen Vlad, he was saying pretty much like he was trying to drive down Marlon's price. It felt like there was a lot of slander in Marlon's direction, saying that he's not worth that. If you check his last interviews, and he was throwing posts up with his most recent interviews, and they weren't getting nowhere near the streams that would equate to 40K and rev share after that. Now, checkmate, because since then, this has been going on for a couple weeks. Marlon has the most recent interview on the
Club Shay Shay,
the Shannon Sharp show. So Vlad loses. It's
a lose-lose
in the eye of public opinion to me,
of course,
because now you don't know if Shannon paid the 40K or he didn't. All you know is that he got an interview with probably the biggest interviewer this year.
Right.
So
he hit 1 million.
And he hit 1 million.
He hit 1 million streams, and he wrote checkmate.
Yeah.
The second part was that Vlad was saying that he's not worth it because he doesn't garner enough views.
Yeah.
So for him to get 1 million views within a couple days,
yeah,
shows that he is valued.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. And again, you can't hate on the fact that he might have used this back and forth with Vlad to garner more attention to his name.
Of course,
right? Did you see the interview?
I saw pieces of it.
Okay, yeah,
I saw pieces.
I saw little snippets. I think the one thing that stood out to me as we were talking about the Super Bowl was the fact that he was telling a story about A Living Color. And In Living Color, I guess, was on the interview, was at the Super Bowl. Like it used to come on Sunday nights at 8:00. I remember it. And 1 year, I guess it ran real competitive with the Super Bowl.
It actually beat the Super Bowl in numbers.
There we go. So then, which is crazy today.
Which is why next year they got MJ.
Yeah. So that was probably the biggest story that I took away from it.
No, the other story.
And again, I didn't see all of it.
I'm not saying no to you, but
yeah.
I'm just saying. I'm just recalling.
Yeah.
Big story. Him being able to see Tupac and Biggie both 20 minutes before their demise.
Yeah. That's creepy. That's a little That's a little creepy. That was big too. Yeah.
We've seen him speak towards it before and say, "Listen, this beef thing in hip hop makes no sense."
Yeah.
I was around the man and them. I seen them right before they passed. I saw what the beef did for hip hop.
Yeah.
We don't need to go there again.
Yeah.
And he can speak passionately because he was on the set
Yeah.
with Tupac. So we know he genuinely had a relationship with Tupac.
He did.
And we know just being Wayne's and being around, he would have seen Big and everybody. He was in the industry for a long time. He has different experiences, so he can speak towards that. So
Yeah.
it's definitely an interview that we all need to take a look at. And if next week there's anything hot from that, we'll bring it back to you guys.
So I do have 2 questions before we leave that topic. First question is, do you think Vlad's a culture vulture?
Yes.
Okay. You care to share why?
The question he asks, as an interviewer, you know what you're saying to people, and a lot of time it seems like he's trying to lead certain people into more trouble and more drama. He's not really very versed on the topics he talks about.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of times where I get very upset with him because the questions that he's asking, if he was truly a fan of these people or truly a fan of hip hop, he should have that knowledge already.
I get that.
And he doesn't. So for me, it's like, what are you trying to do?
Yeah.
You're asking them all these questions that could indict them or get them into trouble, but you really don't do your research on them. You just want to know about the drama, messy parts.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, he's trying to sell streams, right? He's trying to
Yeah.
sell ad space and people watching his videos. But if you were a fan, you wouldn't want to see, he wouldn't want to see the demise of us. And he's been brought up in a couple cases that we've seen.
Yeah. So like I said, I'm not gonna front like I watch Vlad TV, right? I find like a lot of the times it is informative. It is entertaining, depending on if you have a boozy interview, a Plies interview. You know what I mean? So you do
He gets the guest.
Yeah, right. So, but the one thing is, I've said this before, and I'll continue to say it: where there's smoke, there is fire.
Yeah.
I don't think people are picking on Vlad. Like Vlad was the first in his space. He's a pioneer in this lane, right? In regards to interviews and speaking to hip hop artists and industry types. But I feel like if the well wasn't so easy to go to, so many people wouldn't keep going back to it. So I think the industry knows, a lot. People that are speaking on it, I think they're valid in what they have to say. To answer the question, I don't know, and to be honest with you, I really don't care. For me, it's y'all need to protect yourself when you're going on these microphones and in front of cameras and totally snitching on yourself. Like, this is on you. Like, Vlad can't.
That's a fact.
He can ask you the question, you don't got to answer it, right? Like, anyone can ask you the question. Clout is a drug, and a lot of people, especially in this day and age, are literally putting themselves in jail, just based off their words and actions, and which can be controlled. So it's like they're intentionally doing it, but don't know that they're doing it at the same time, right?
He finds people that don't have media training, don't have anybody to support them, to tell them, listen, you don't need to answer every question. But yes, I think he's a culture vulture.
Okay, all right, bet.
He's winning off it, and he doesn't give back.
Yeah, no, I get.
You know what I'm saying? What's the next question, though?
Oh, so the next question I got for you was, who's your favorite Wayans? Which brother?
Damon.
That was me. That's what my pick
I think
was
Damon
as well.
was the funniest.
He was, and I think he has the most. Like, Keenan was obviously the founder of it, and In Living Color will go down for me as one of my favorite shows of all time.
Right.
It launched Jennifer Lopez and Jim Carrey and endless legends.
Tommy Davidson.
Yeah, endless legends. But Homie the Clown.
He had the illest characters.
Major Pain, like
he had the illest characters.
He has characters that still resonate today. It's funny as hell. But I won't take that again. Marlon and Sean are funny in their own right.
Sean, not so much.
I was never a big fan of Sean, but
he's there.
He's there, right?